Hey, this is Ramona the Airstream. It's a 1973 Tradewind. I'm Tom.
I'm Delmara, and we have been traveling 2.5 years with our 3 kids and our dog. We always like to camp, so we thought we need something to make it a little bit easier that you can just hitch up and go and take longer trips. So we thought about getting like a little camper, completely gut the whole thing and spend 2 years year and a half tearing it apart, redoing everything. And in the middle of that, let's sell the house and everything that we own and hit the road.
I think the big thing for me was go to work, doing your best, you move up the ladder, and you find that it's just so much living from check to check in a crowded society. And we love nature and just wanted to change and to kind of get out of the hustle. And I felt that the longer I was in my job and in regular corporate life and society, that it just felt like a little bit of your soul was dying each day, and we were kind of over that. So when we decided to go full time, it was a big leap, but I would never change it for the world. It's been pretty awesome.
Hello, welcome, come in. Ramona is a 1973 trailer. So while we were designing it, I really wanted to keep kind of that 70s feel. When we were doing our build, I really thought about the fact that we live here. Like, this is not camping, this is not vacation. I have to care for my family and do life in this space. So we designed it accordingly. So we opted to do like a full-size sink because nothing drives me crazy more than your dishes not being able to actually fit in your sink. So it's big and it's deep. When we cut out the counter, we cut a wood space to have sink covers, which double as like our cutting boards. For our water, we do a Berkey so that it's one less errand in traveling to have to get drinking water. Cabinets are mostly storage. We have a pull-out for our trash, under sink storage, cleaning and such. The bottoms are all not usable for storage. That's all where like water heater and propane and heating lines and such are. We did drawer slides that kind of pop out, so that way we don't have to lock anything up for traveling. They just stay closed. We wanted to still be able to bake, so we chose to do an oven. It's an RV oven, it's small, but it still is one, where some people just do a countertop. We have one little cabinet specifically for all my cast iron. I was adamant that we got to keep the cast iron. And a tiny, tiny little cabinet where we keep the cutting boards when they're not on the stove and baking pans.
We got the trailer. It was original. For the most part, was in decent condition, in terms of what the listing says. We restored the frame. We had to sand all the rust off, treat and coat it and paint it. Built all new subfloor, built in some steel wheel wells and new cross members in the frame. We did sheep's wool insulation, which has been awesome. Keeps it quiet, it helps moderate temperature real well.
Everything needing to be completely sealed just to start with a blank canvas was over a year of work. It was just a whole thing, like thousands and thousands of hours before you could even start what feels like the build. Like the part you see was the easy part.
And it was something that we were going to live in and travel in all over the country, and we want to make sure that it was going to last and be dependable, and not only for our travels, but for our grandchildren someday.
Here, this NovaCool was like the biggest small fridge and freezer we could find. So again, maximizing as much space in a small space as we can. And then the pantry for all of our food and additional storage of like kitchen. All of our dishes go here. I do wrap them on travel days in napkins so that they don't break. Our shelf up here, this is kind of like, I feel like the one area of the trailer where your cute happy stuff lives that makes it feel like not just functional stuff, but like happy stuff. But again, on travel day, we pull all of this down. Bedroom area is here for the kids. We don't have walls, but we do have a curtain. So that's our little privacy separation between our room and their room. My daughter sleeps here on the top bunk and the boys sleep here. This pulls out. It's almost like a futon, ends up being about a queen bed that this pulls down. And then all the bedding gets shoved in this little cabinet here. This here is our closet. So mine and Tom's and some of the kids' clothes go in here. We did shelves and bins that we just got from Amazon instead of doing drawers. And all of our clothes go there. We got a small area here for jackets and dresses. And then the kids' clothes goes under their beds in these baskets.
And I'm about to bring you into the bathroom to show you what we've got going on there. Did a little sliding barn door here. And then as you make your way in, we did the copper sink to match the aesthetic and the tones. Cabinet here. Open this up. We've got, you know, blow dryers, curling irons, all of your bathroom product. We went with a composting toilet, being we're going to be primarily boondocking. I didn't want to have to be stuck using black tank and leaving sites and figuring all that stuff out. So that's worked out really well for us. And then this whole side area, we've got some shelves going on. This is a little flap for the trash. So you can stuff your trash down in there, or you can even access it through the door. This works a little bit better to pull that out and change. There's a little door that we built down here that slides open, and that's where you'll access the electrical panel, switching over from inverter to shore power. And then we built a cabinet right in this side. Random things that we, don't have a place for get packed in there. Made it just big enough to slide the guitar in so we could bring that along the journey. This is one of the most beautiful parts of the Airstream, I think, is the shower. So there's actually a lot of debate on whether you use tile in an Airstream or travel trailer in general. We went with penny tiles, and it's worked out great. We've been on the road 2.5 years. This thing's gone about 50,000 miles. We haven't had a single crack or tile pop. I'm close to 6'2", so as you can see, when I'm in here, it gets a little cramped. So I'm usually crouching down, or we built this little seat in here so I can just sit down and, shower that way.
It was never our plan to live like this forever. We knew it was just going to be a really cool chapter. And originally we said we thought we did a year real quick turned into, that's ridiculous. It's been 1.5 years to build it. Why would we only travel for a year? So a year turned into 2. Now we're into 2.5. And we're starting to think about our next chapter. It's not forever, but I think what it has done is it's really helped us as a family to step back and be like, what do you actually want out of life? What do you actually want for the next chapter? And traveling isn't forever, but I think we've absolutely confirmed that we could never go back to regular or normal living. We could never go back to a neighborhood. We could never go back to an office job.
We have our kitchen table, which is also our bed. So when you are in a small space, things need to be multifunctional. So we used some country maple here, did the glue up, built that guy out, and then it's on a pedestal. So that whole table pops down, all these cushions fold right in, and then we have approximately a queen size bed. So once we pull the cushions off, we've got bins under here. This first one, we've got all kinds of random things. We built some side cabinets here because, again, every little bit of space matters. Built a front bin here for shoes. This was kind of actually made after the fact because shoes were everywhere. This middle bin back here, this is all of our solar stuff. So we've got our lithium batteries in there, charger, charge controller, inverter. We've got bins built into this back section here. This is actually the kids' homeschool stuff. And then the final cabinets on this side, this is all of our bedding. For the most part, we used 1/2-inch plywood throughout a lot of this. Then on this front bin, we did a lot of 3/4-inch plywood on this whole front section because it's the area where we're gonna be sitting at, sleeping on. We want it to be super sturdy. So we've got this little compartment here. These slide back. This is definitely original 73 Airstream cabinets. Up here, this is actually the original control panel for the Airstream. We got an idea actually from a friend of ours, the Tiny Shiny Home. They've got a similar concept. So we created these wood frames. A good buddy of mine helped out with creating those, and it came out great. So blinds during the day, these just roll down. Pretty simple and easy. And then you just pull them, they roll back up. You just pull these levers up. There's a few different settings. And then we've got some nice, fresh, cool air coming through. We also use max air fans. So we have one in the front and one in the rear of the trailer, which is actually pretty neat to have those two, because you can turn one on, you know, blowing air in, and the other one exhausting. So it just kind of creates this circular flow of air. So it's nice and fresh in here. Quitting my job, starting my own business, like there were so many leaps that we took to make this a reality, that I think the one big thing that I learned from it all is that fear is a liar. And there's so many people out there with so many dreams and things they want to do, yet they're afraid to take that step. And it's often this little bit of fear whispering in their ear that they may not be able to do it, or what if it didn't work out? And it's complete nonsense. It really is. Like, once you actually do the things, I think especially when there are things you're called to do, everything just kind of comes around and conspires to help you make that happen. And so I think that's a big part of our mission, in a sense, you know, on the road, is to inspire people to go after the dreams that they have. You know, what are those things that you're passionate about that make you come alive? And do more of that.
If you guys are also building a mobile dwelling and in need of lithium batteries, solar panels, or inverters, signaturesolar.com has the best prices, and you can use my code JUICEBOX at checkout for $50 off your order. And if you're into Airstreams, you're going to want to watch Kelson J's Airstream build series. It's fantastic. I'll link to it right here, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.